You know, right now, at this very second, there's a war going on all around us. But you can't see it. It's not fought with tanks and soldiers, but with code and data. So let's dive into this invisible war and figure out what's really at stake when our entire lives are on the digital front line.
I mean, this sounds like the plot of a Hollywood blockbuster, right? But it actually happened. The Colonial Pipeline, which is basically the main artery for fuel on the US East Coast, was completely shut down. And the craziest part, it wasn't some super sophisticated Mission Impossible style hack. Nope, it all came down to one single compromised password.
So what did it cost to get the fuel flowing again? A cool $4.4 million. And get this, it was paid in Bitcoin to a hacker group called DarkSide. This wasn't just about stealing some files, this was real-world critical infrastructure being held for a digital ransom. It just shows you the kind of power these attackers have. Okay, but what really gets me is just how fast this all went down. Take a look. 2 hours. That's it. In the time it takes to watch a movie, they'd already stolen 100 gigabytes of data. Then they dropped the ransomware, locking up the whole system and forcing the shutdown. It's the perfect example of how a tiny, tiny crack can cause a catastrophic flood in the blink of an eye. All right, so the Colonial Pipeline was huge. It made all the headlines. But honestly, it's just the tip of the iceberg. There are countless threats out there that we all face every day. So let's pull back the curtain and take a look at the tools these attackers have in their digital arsenal. First up, the big one, malware. It's exactly what it sounds like, malicious software. It's kind of the umbrella term for all the nasty stuff. You've got ransomware, which we just saw in action, and then you have the classic Trojan. You know the story, right? The giant wooden horse? It's the same idea. It looks like a legitimate program, maybe a free game, but once you let it in, bam, the bad guys are inside your walls. Next up is phishing. And I bet you've seen this one before. It's pure psychological trickery. You get that urgent email, looks totally legit, from your bank, saying, hey, there's a problem with your account, click here now. So you click, you land on a page that looks exactly right, you type in your password, and just like that, they've got you. It's the oldest con in the book, just dressed up for the digital age. And then we've got something called a denial of service attack, or DOS for short. The analogy here is just perfect. Imagine you own a coffee shop. And one morning, 1,000 people who have no intention of buying anything all rush in and just stand there. Your real customers? They can't even get to the counter. That's a DOS attack. It floods a website with so much fake traffic that it grinds to a halt for everyone else. Okay, enough doom and gloom, right? We've seen the bad guys' playbook, so now let's flip the script. How do we fight back? How do we build our own digital fortress? Let's open up the Defender's playbook. When you get right down to it, cybersecurity defense is built on two super simple but absolutely critical ideas. Pillar 1, proving you are who you say you are. And Pillar 2, making sure your secret stays secret. That's it. That's the foundation of our digital fortress. So that first pillar, proving your identity, that's called authentication. Think of it like a bouncer at a club. Your password is like saying your name, but two-factor authentication, that's when the bouncer also asks to see your ID, that little code you get on your phone. It's that extra layer that really proves it's you, and it makes it way, way tougher for imposters. And that brings us to pillar number 2, keeping secrets secret. This is cryptography, basically the science of writing in code. Now there are two main flavors. First, symmetric encryption. The best way to think about this is a secret diary. You've got one key, you use it to lock the diary, and you use that exact same key to unlock it. Simple, right? It's super fast. Then there's asymmetric encryption. Think of this like a personal mailbox. It has a mail slot, that's the public key. Anyone can drop a message in, but only you have the special key, the private key, to actually open the box. It might be a little slower, but it's the magic that lets you safely send sensitive info over the internet. Okay, so here's a thought. What if we could use all those sneaky hacker skills for good? What if we could think like a burglar to make our house more secure? Well, that's exactly what ethical hacking is all about. I love this quote from the source material. It says, ethical hacking is like inviting a friendly detective to check if your digital doors and windows are secure. That's a perfect way to put it. These are the white hats, the good guys. Companies literally pay them to try and break in. Why? So they can find all the vulnerabilities and patch them up before the real bad guys show up. And don't think for a second that this is just chaos. It's a super methodical, professional process.
It starts with reconnaissance. They scout the target, just like an attacker. Then they scan for weaknesses. Then comes the fun part, exploitation, where they actually try to get in. But here's the most critical step. After all that, they write up a detailed report. It's basically a how-to guide for the company on how to lock everything down tight.
So, where is all of this going? The future of this invisible war, the next big battlefield? It's all about one thing: artificial intelligence. And believe me, it's fueling a whole new kind of arms race. You see, AI is the ultimate double-edged sword here. On one hand, attackers are using it as a weapon to create malware that literally evolves on its own to hide from antivirus software. On the other hand, AI is also our most powerful shield. It can watch a network and spot an attack happening in real time, shutting down threats faster than any human team could ever hope to. It's an incredible game of cat and mouse, being played at machine speed.
And all of this leaves us with a huge and honestly kind of scary question. In a world where both sides have AI, where attacks and defenses are evolving by the second, how do we make sure the good guys always stay one step ahead? This isn't a single fight with a clear winner. It's a constant, ongoing war. So the real question isn't if the next big attack is coming, it's when. And will we be ready for it? Because in this invisible war, standing still is the same as falling behind.